Welcome to Wise Elders Stories channel. Warning, warning. The 3 worst vegetables that can worsen numbness in your feet. End the situation right now. The 3 veggies that make your feet even more tingly and shaky. Feel like your toes are about to tingle or maybe even fall asleep? Have you ever woken up with an unexplainable feeling of weight or swelling? What if I told you that you might be the one to blame for the problem? I agree with that. Vegetables that you would think are healthy for you might really make your neuropathy in your feet worse. True, even seemingly healthy foods can have hidden ingredients that are bad for your blood flow. Moreover, which part is the most surprising? Most likely, you take them regularly thinking that you are putting your health first. But what if, without meaning to, those choices were harming your nerves and reducing blood supply to your limbs? Yes, that is spot on. In this video, I'll show you 15 foods that are making your foot numbness and other symptoms worse. Having said that, remember the main point. Vegetables make up 3 of these 15 items. I agree with that. Along with other foods, I will reveal the 3 veggies that are most likely to blame for your foot tingling and swelling. The last choice is extremely risky. Ingesting too much of it could lead to serious problems with your blood vessels. Can you identify which foods you should cut out of your diet right now? You must pay close attention to the cues that your feet are giving you. Do not waste time. Keep watching the movie till the end to see how little changes may make a big difference to your health. Number 15. The savory bacon. Even while bacon is a breakfast and dinner staple in many nations, it can really hurt people with foot neuropathy. This is because of the saturated lipids and extremely high salt levels that affect blood circulation directly. Given that bacon is high in sodium, which causes fluid retention, consuming it can raise blood pressure and make peripheral circulation more difficult. Think of your containers as little pipelines. Their intrinsic narrowing makes blood circulation more difficult. In fact, this is the direct result of eating very salty foods. There are other problems besides circulation. Saturated fats worsen the condition by raising bad cholesterol levels, which can block arteries. On top of that, regular bacon consumption may speed up neuropathies and vascular difficulties in people who are already at a higher risk for them. Bacon cooking requires an extra word of warning. To make matters worse, frying it in oil adds even more bad fats to the entree. Cutting off this food from your regular diet can have major consequences down the road. The goal is not to eradicate all joys in life, but rather to find balance, and this is very important to remember. Substituting bacon for healthy options may seem like a lot of work, but the benefits to circulation and numbness reduction make it worthwhile. Also, we haven't even scratched the surface of all the potentially harmful foods out there. 14. People who suffer with foot numbness often attribute it to processed hamburgers, which are ubiquitous in fast food and other quick meals. Products with high concentrations of saturated and trans fats, as well as chemical additives that worsen the body's inflammatory processes, are available. Inflammation is one of the main causes of poor blood flow. Did you know that? Due to the body's impaired blood flow, tingling and paralysis in the feet are more common during inflammation. Another major problem with these burgers is the excessive sodium content. Swelling of the limbs and an uncomfortable feeling of pressure could be the outcomes of this hidden sodium's ability to enhance fluid retention. Is the possibility that a quick snack could be to blame for your foot pain ever crossed your mind? The additives and preservatives used to make these foods last longer add to the buildup of toxins and reduce blood flow, both of which hinder the body's capacity to operate. The trans fat in pre-made and frozen burgers raises bad cholesterol and lowers good cholesterol simultaneously. Because it increases the likelihood of blockages and worsens peripheral numbness, this imbalance is extremely harmful to blood vessels. Making the switch from packaged burgers to homemade versions made with lean meats and fresh toppings can be an easy and healthy way to improve one's diet. Consistently eating these burgers can worsen their negative impact on the body. If you're already dealing with tingling or numbness, it's important to think about how an imbalanced diet could worsen your symptoms. You should always keep in mind that what you eat has a direct impact on your body. 13. Pizza is a food that everyone may enjoy. Because it is both easy to carry and delicious, it is perfect for recreational pursuits. The conversation takes a radical turn, though, when it comes to frozen pizzas, especially for those dealing with foot neuropathy. This product type is prone to the formation of edema in the limbs and poor blood circulation due to the presence of sodium, preservatives, and saturated lipids. Frozen pizza has an excess of salt, which raises blood pressure and causes fluid retention, which in turn limits blood flow to the extremities. Do you know what it's like to have heavy, swollen feet after eating anything like this? The two events are not coincidental. Many people, especially towards the end of the day, feel tingling or numbness because their bodies try to compensate for the excess salt by storing water. The preservatives used to extend the shelf life of these products, along with sodium, become real suffocants for the human body. They contribute to peripheral neuropathy, a leading cause of foot paralysis, by inducing quiet inflammatory processes that worsen circulation. The problem doesn't end there either. Saturated lipids, found in low-quality dough and cheeses, aid in the buildup of bad cholesterol, which facilitates the constriction of blood vessels. Have you ever thought about how a quick and easy meal can be bad for your health in the long run? Making your own pizza at home using fresh ingredients and reducing the sodium content can be a far better choice for your health and enjoyment. Try satisfying your cravings with whole wheat bread, fresh veggies, and low-fat cheeses to keep your blood pressure and cholesterol levels stable. 12. The shockingly high sodium level is a hallmark of instant stews. Even just one dish could put you over your salt limit for the day. When there is an overabundance of fluid in the body, it causes the extremities to swell because fluid retention lowers peripheral circulation. Many individuals don't realize that when you eat foods that are very salty, your body reacts by retaining water to reduce the amount of salt in your blood. The pressure on the blood arteries, which blocks blood flow to the extremities, causes the unpleasant tingling and numbness that nobody likes. The use of artificial flavors, colors, and preservatives in quick soups is another cause for worry. Not only do they make the product last longer until it expires, but they also cause ongoing inflammation in the body, which worsens circulation even more. One of the main causes of peripheral neuropathies, which affect foot sensation, is this persistent inflammation. There is a noticeable lack of nutrition in these stews as well. In addition to not offering any nutritional value, these calories flood vital organs like the kidneys and liver, making fluid retention and swelling feel much worse. Regular use of these products will make your situation worse if you have circulation problems or foot feeling to begin with. In addition, you'll learn which 3 veggies are worse for your foot thanks to this video. 11. The seductive scent of a freshly baked cake has captivated many a person, and cake mixes and ready-made cakes are no exception. In the hustle and bustle of everyday life, many people choose pre-made mixes because they are convenient and easy. Even though it seems like a simple solution, it could actually be harmful to your health, especially if you have foot neuropathy. 2 of the worst things for blood circulation are hydrogenated fats and processed sugars, which are abundant in these manufactured mixes and pre-made cakes. Consuming an excessive amount of sugar causes a quick rise in blood glucose levels. Furthermore, why is this danger present? A gradual reduction in blood flow to the extremities may occur as a consequence of damage to blood vessels caused by high sugar levels. It is this diminution that makes the tingling and numbness worse, especially in the feet. The combination of elevated bad cholesterol and decreased good cholesterol, brought about by the hydrogenated lipids in these combinations, is particularly harmful to blood arteries. Both of these factors work together to clog arteries over time, which makes circulation even more difficult. The result? A marked worsening of the feeling of paralysis in the limbs, along with more edema and tingling. Also, it's concerning that some items use artificial flavors and preservatives. Negative effects on nerve health and circulation can result from their exacerbation of dormant inflammatory processes in the body. When inflammation reaches the peripheral nerves, numbness usually gets worse. Having said that, you should not give up cake. Stay calm. Making your own versions at home with nutritious oils like olive or coconut, minimal sugar, and whole grains is the way to go. 10th number. Streamlined French fry production. Tempting, tasty, and crunchy. French fries are the go-to for parties, gatherings, and on-the-go munchies. On the other hand, this reviver could be making your problems worse if you're feeling a numbness in your feet. In particular, the factory-farmed varieties are extremely unhealthy for blood circulation because to their high sodium content, trans fat content, and sautéing in poor-quality oils. In addition, the abundance of sodium used to enhance the taste of these potatoes encourages the body to retain water, which raises blood pressure and causes swelling. When you eat a lot of French fries for lunch, do you ever notice that your feet get swollen? This is a clear sign that your body is reacting to the high sodium levels. Another concerning aspect is the reuse of oils while frying. When oils are heated repeatedly, they release toxic chemicals that irritate the skin and block blood flow. By impacting peripheral nerves, this chronic inflammation can worsen the feeling of tingling and paralysis. Nonetheless, you shouldn't be worried because there are better ways to fulfill your desire for French fries. Use little to no oil and all-natural seasonings while baking them in the oven or air fryer. This is a great way to keep your blood vessels healthy and cut back on bad fats all at the same time. The time has come for the 3 veggies that cause neuropathy in the feet the most harm. The 9th. Sugary treats and packaged sweets. Colorful, tasty, and seemingly harmless manufactured sweets like candy and gum are actually rather dangerous for those with foot numbness. These treats may not seem like a big deal when eaten in moderation, but they can really make circulation and nerve problems worse. This is because processed sugars and chemical additives are present. Industrial sweets, treats, and other items heavy in sugar cause a sharp spike in blood glucose levels. A slower and less effective circulation can occur as a result of damage to the walls of blood vessels caused by this rapid and persistent rise. The result? Reduced blood flow to the extremities causes a worsening of foot numbness and feeling. Neuropathies are more common in people with diabetes or a family history of the disease because of the persistently high blood sugar levels. The high levels of synthetic dyes and chemical additives in these products are another reason for worry. Not only do they cause inflammation, but they also harm the peripheral nerves. When nerves don't get the nutrients they need to operate properly, the electrical signals that get to the brain are impaired, which makes paralysis seem much worse. On top of that, more details are available. These candies are so easy to eat, they're like little rewards sprinkled throughout the day. But is it worth putting one's health at danger for a temporary high? People with a sweet craving have options when it comes to healthier alternatives. A low-sugar handmade dessert, a little dark chocolate, some fresh fruit, or a moderate serving of fruit will satisfy your sweet tooth without clogging your arteries. Since this is an industrial treat, you should probably be careful before eating it. Making a better informed choice is beneficial to your health, especially your feet. 8. As an ingredient in almost every fast food joint, soda is both a daily staple and an unsung hero. Delightfully fizzy and revitalizing. You should know that this drug, both the regular and diet versions, can greatly worsen symptoms of foot numbness. Little do most people know that these drinks have acids, carbs, and artificial sweeteners that wreak havoc on the health of peripheral nerves and blood circulation. Traditional drinks have a lot of sugar, which is the main problem. It may be more than the recommended daily consumption in only one can. Over time, the impaired delivery of oxygen and nutrients to the extremities and the damage to blood vessels caused by blood sugar surges are consequences of this excess. This poor blood flow is the root cause of the numbness and paralysis in the feet. Imagine your feet are wailing for help, but no amount of blood can get to them. Also, be careful if you think diet drinks are better for you. They face an even higher risk of danger. The artificial sweeteners used in these drinks, such as sucralose and aspartame, can make symptoms worse by reducing nerve transmission and amplifying the body's inflammatory response. In addition, studies have shown that these sugars can trick the brain into thinking glucose levels are more stable than they actually are, which can lead to metabolic problems down the road. 7th digit. Malt beverage. Many people connect beer with unwinding and mingling with friends. However, people suffering from numbness in their feet may find that drinking this beverage has more negative effects than they would expect. If you suffer from peripheral neuropathy, a disorder that causes numbness and tingling in the extremities, the alcohol content of beer can worsen your symptoms by directly disrupting blood circulation. When you drink alcohol, your blood vessels temporarily dilate, which can make you feel warm and relaxed at first. This upbeat feeling, nevertheless, masks a rebound impact. Once the blood arteries dilate, they constrict, making poor circulation even worse. The result? When blood flow to the feet is impaired, symptoms like swelling, tingling, and numbness could develop. Regular alcohol drinking also increases the risk of long-term damage to peripheral nerves. The weakened muscles, burning sensations, and diminished sensitivity that characterize alcoholic neuropathy are all outcomes of this damage. Also, it is not the end of it. In addition, people who are already at risk for circulatory problems should avoid consuming beer since it contains carbs and sugars, which, when eaten in excess, can raise blood sugar levels. Because it causes the body to lose water, beer is another thing to be wary of. Because of its diuretic effects, alcohol can make blood clot, which worsens circulation problems. The advice is to go at a leisurely pace while you're among friends or family. Use non-alcoholic drinks, like iced teas and natural juices, in place of beer. Limit your beer intake to special occasions and regularly replace it with water to lessen the possible impact if you can't avoid it. Furthermore, we are near the top 3, which will reveal the veggies that hurt your foot the most. 6. Milk chocolate is like an actual hug in a bite for a lot of people. It's delicious and reassuring. Despite its widespread popularity, milk chocolate poses a serious health risk due to its potential to reduce blood flow and cause numbness in the feet. The combination of its high sugar content and saturated lipids makes it tempting, but it's bad for your heart condition. Milk chocolate's high sugar content quickly raises blood sugar levels. In addition to damaging blood vessels, this spike in blood sugar contributes to inflammation of peripheral nerves, which in turn worsens tingling and numbness. Imagine a river as your cardiovascular system. When there's too much sugar in the river, it gets denser, which makes it harder for vital nutrients to reach the edges. But saturated fats raise bad cholesterol and encourage the buildup of arterial fat plaques. The consequence is a reduction in blood flow, which in turn worsens circulation to the feet and limbs. As blood flow decreases, paralysis and tingling become increasingly noticeable. The sugar and deliciousness of milk chocolate make it easy to eat too much of it without realizing it, which is another common problem. When you thought you could have just one more piece of chocolate, did you ever look down and see that the whole bar had disappeared? This unchecked eating makes the damage worse, especially when it happens frequently. You shouldn't be worried, though, because not all chocolate is evil. Moderate consumption of dark chocolate with a high cocoa content may help circulation because it contains antioxidants. It is in the composition itself that the difference exists. Less sugar, less bad fat, and more health advantages. So, think about the value of sacrificing circulation for a temporary rush the next time the desire strikes. Choosing healthier options can be a small change that makes a big difference to your life satisfaction. Rank 5. Pastries that are both exquisite and white. If you're feeling numbness in your feet, that delicate white sandwich bread or French baguette can be a quiet enemy despite its seemingly innocent appearance. The refined flours used to make these foods strip them of most of their fiber and nutrients, leaving behind a substance that the body breaks down into sugar very quickly. Also, how does this relate to tingling, and what does it mean? Absolutely everything. Elevated blood sugar levels harm blood vessels and reduce circulation, which can worsen tingling and swelling in the limbs. Consuming white bread on a regular basis causes an overabundance of quickly absorbed carbs, which in turn raise insulin levels and cause inflammation. This inflammation, which is often undetected, blocks blood and nutrient supply to the feet and impacts the peripheral nerves. In addition to making circulation worse, processed bread's lack of fibers makes absorption more difficult. A sudden spike in blood glucose levels, brought on by an overstimulation of blood vessels due to the lack of fibers that control sugar absorption, worsens symptoms including swelling and numbness. Nevertheless, you shouldn't be worried. Instead of giving up bread, you should make better-informed selections. Cereal and seed-based whole grain breads are high in fiber, which helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels and blood vessel function. You can extend the feeling of fullness without jeopardizing your cardiovascular health by combining these items with lean proteins like eggs or white cheeses. Be sure to weigh your alternatives thoroughly before choosing the white bread the next time you visit the bakery. This adjustment will be very helpful for your feet. 4. Industrial ice creams are delicious and refreshing, making them practically impossible to resist, especially on hot days. Those who are suffering from foot numbness, though, may find this icy delight to be a true villain. In addition to being bad for people's overall health, these products have an effect on circulation and peripheral nerve function. This is due to the fact that they include an abundance of processed carbs, trans fats, and chemical additives. The excessive sugar in ice cream causes blood sugar spikes, which in the long run damage blood vessels. Numbness and tingling in the feet are symptoms of impaired circulation, which makes it harder for blood to reach the extremities. Furthermore, commercial ice desserts are rich in saturated and trans fats, which add to the risk of atherosclerosis and high levels of bad cholesterol. Reduced blood flow and oxygen and nutrition delivery to the foot are further complications of atherosclerosis. The result? Foot pain that doesn't go away, along with swelling and a heavy feeling. Adding artificial dyes and additives to ice cream to change its color and taste is another thing to think about. Because they cause inflammation, these chemicals can make the symptoms of poor circulation worse. Ice cream's coolness causes transient vasoconstriction, a temporary narrowing of blood vessels that worsens circulation. This is the most harmful element. But that doesn't mean you have to give up that delicious dessert. A healthy option would be to make your own ice cream with yogurt instead of sugar and use real fruits. Indulge your sweet taste and get the nutrients your body needs with these healthier options. Now I'll tell you about the 3 veggies that, if eaten in excess, might hurt your foot. 3. Spinach, which is often considered a delicacy, is actually rather nutritious and has several health benefits. Did you know, though, that it can be harmful to some people, especially those who suffer from foot numbness? I agree with that. While spinach is rich in iron, fiber, and minerals, it also has a lot of oxalates, which can make people with circulatory problems and fluid retention even worse. If your feet feel numb, how does this affect that? The production of tiny crystals can hinder blood circulation and put an overload on the kidneys because oxalates can bind to calcium in the body. In addition to reducing fluid loss, this procedure can cause swelling in the limbs, which makes paralysis and tingling much worse. Your body may not be properly metabolizing substances like spinach if you've noticed that your feet swell after eating them. In addition, people using anticoagulants may find that spinach's high vitamin K level makes them less effective. The risk of blood clots, which can worsen circulation and numbness, increases due to this interference. Another thing to think about is that eating too much spinach might make you retain water. Furthermore, as you may be aware, the buildup of fluid in the limbs compresses the nerves and blood vessels, leading to a tingling feeling and impeding blood flow. Does this, however, mean that you should never eat spinach again? That is not always the case. The secret is moderation. For example, one way to lower the oxalate level in spinach is to eat it cooked. In addition, by consuming green leaves in a variety of ways, one can prevent the body from being overwhelmed with nutrients. The second one. Bib lettuce. One of the healthiest veggies in the world is broccoli, according to many advertisements. Its high fiber, vitamin, and mineral content makes it a popular addition to the diets of those who are trying to eat healthily. On the other hand, people who already have foot neuropathy, especially those on anticoagulant medicine, may find that eating too much of this vegetable makes their symptoms worse. How come this is the case? Vitamin K, which is abundant in broccoli, can interfere with blood clotting and circulation if ingested in large quantities. Damage to the circulatory system makes it harder for oxygen and nutrients to reach the feet and other extremities. The result? The numbness that lingers, the tingling, and more swelling. Imagine the blood arteries in your body as little roads. Blood that is more prone to clotting will cause these arteries to become more congested, making it more difficult for blood to reach the feet. In addition to vitamin K, broccoli contains goitrogens, which, when consumed in large amounts, can interfere with thyroid function. To what end is this significant? Because it influences metabolism and circulation, an imbalance in thyroid function can make tingling and numbness worse. It may be wise to reevaluate your broccoli consumption frequency if you suffer from foot fatigue and eat a lot of broccoli every day. Broccoli, like other cruciferous vegetables, can cause fluid retention in certain people, especially if eaten raw in large quantities. Furthermore, this is an essential component. The peripheral nerves are compressed, making the paralysis in the foot even more severe, due to this retention. We are not trying to cast broccoli in a negative light, so there's no need to be worried. When consumed moderately, it has many benefits. Make sure you're not overwhelming your body with nutrients by eating a variety of leafy greens and vegetables on a regular basis. For advice on how much anticoagulant to take, it's best to talk to a doctor or dietitian. 1. We reach Swiss chard, the last item on our list, with a word of warning. The high nutrient density of this vegetable is comparable to that of spinach. It contains a plethora of minerals like calcium and potassium in addition to fiber, vitamins A, C, and K. People who are prone to fluid retention, circulation problems, or numbness in the feet, especially when consumed in large quantities, may not want to choose Swiss chard. But this is a truth that a lot of people don't know. The main concern is the amount of oxalates found in Swiss chard. When these compounds bind to calcium in the body, tiny crystals can develop, which can reduce blood flow and increase fluid retention. On top of that, why is that problematic? Swelling in the feet and other extremities from fluid retention puts pressure on the nerves and blood vessels, which can lead to tingling and numbness. Like broccoli and spinach, Swiss chard is rich in oxalates and vitamin K. The effects of this vitamin can interfere with the effectiveness of anticoagulants, which can be a problem for patients using these medications. This can increase the risk of clotting and compromise blood circulation. The result? As blood supply to the extremities decreases, numbness in the feet becomes worse and more frequent. Plus, some people might have gas and fluid retention from eating fresh Swiss chard, so it's something to keep in mind if you're one of those people. We know that one of the main causes of is pressure on peripheral nerves, and this swelling does more than just make people uncomfortable, it makes the problem worse. Do you have to stop eating Swiss chard altogether because of this, though? That is not always the case. The most important parts are moderation and the way to prepare. To make Swiss chard safe to eat, it is best to cook it first to reduce its oxalate concentration. To further guarantee a balanced diet and avoid an excess of any one nutrient, try switching up the veggies you eat throughout the week. So, if you often eat Swiss chard and have foot numbness, it's best to watch your body's reaction and talk to a doctor about making dietary changes. Modifying the plate little can sometimes have a big effect on how one lives their life. Plus, think about subscribing to the channel if you want to keep getting the best health-related videos. Making you healthier is its one and only goal. Improving your quality of life is its secondary objective. Helping you is my first priority. In the video you're seeing right now, I reveal the 10 meals that strengthen your muscles before time runs out. Take a look at the display by tapping on it. That being said, till the next video.